Well, Blues fans, welcome in. I'm Joey Vitale, and I'm talking to no other than Boston Bruins. No, wait now. St. Louis Blues, Torey Krug. Torey Krug just signed a new 7-year deal with the St. Louis Blues. Welcome you in. Welcome to St. Louis. Welcome to the fan base. Torey Krug, you're a Blue man. How does it feel?
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. Excited. I'm very overwhelmed. It's been a long day, but couldn't be more excited at the opportunity that I have here to join St. Louis. That locker room, a lot of great guys. Went to war with them about a year ago, but just can't wait to get to work with them.
War you did. You know, I think a lot of Blues fans, Torey Krug. Oh, yeah, the guy that came barreling down the ice without a helmet, which is illegal, by the way, now. It wasn't then, but it is now. And just absolutely wrecked our first rounder and Robert Thomas. What a battle that was. 7 games a year ago, back in June of 2019. Walk me through the 7-game experience for the St. Louis Blues, and then just kind of talk about, could you ever imagine a year and 4 months later being a St. Louis Blue?
It was a grind. I think it was probably the right thing that I went to 7 games, to be honest. It was almost 2 teams that were mirror images of each other. When we saw the matchup, we knew it was going to be a long one against them. And anytime you get to a game 7, you just don't know what's going to happen. So great team, great depth. The 4 lines, anyone can do damage. The D-core makes it hard on you. And obviously Binnington was great. And, it's hard to beat a team like that. So it was a great test. And obviously, I'm joining the other side now and excited to get going.
Torey, this is a big transition, man. I mean, this is a big deal for a lot of St. Louis fans. Listen, we're here sitting here on UFA Day thinking what's going on with Petro, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, kind of to Armstrong's fashion, out of nowhere he makes an incredible signing. We did the same thing last year with Justin Falk. Out of nowhere he signs Justin Falk, and all of a sudden Edmondson's gone, and here you are now in St. Louis. Did you see this coming? Were you talking to St. Louis? Becoming a UFA, 9 years in Boston, in a long time. With the city, I went to Northeastern for 4 years. It's a city that loves its athletes. Did you see this relationship coming with St. Louis, and how did this all develop?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't see it coming. I knew before this whole process begun that there'd be a team out of left field that would come in and surprise us, and sure enough, when I got the call from Doug and had a conversation with him, and then another call with Coach, it seemed like a match made in heaven. I couldn't pass up an opportunity to win year after year with that locker room, a core that very similar in age group as I am today, and just the depth on the team to win year in, year out. That's important to me, and that was one of the reasons I thought it became a great match. And like I've said over and over again, I'm just eager and at the opportunity to get to work with these guys.
Torey, you battled these guys in 7 games a year and 4 months ago. Is there a player that you played against that you're so grateful that you're now on the same side with? I mean, we both played in the league a long time, and you hate certain guys on the team, but walk me through that 7 games against the St. Louis Blues. Now you're a Blue. I mean, who is one player on this team that you're like, thank God I'm on his team, and I can't wait to go out and battle with him instead of against him?
Yeah, I think that for me, that answer is pretty simple. Ryan OReilly is a guy that anytime you're on the ice with him, against him, you have to know where he is, and he knows where you're going with that puck. And being a puck-moving defenseman, there was no easy pass to get around him. He can knock it out of the air. He could read the play like no one else. And I played with a pretty dang good two-way center in Boston that reminds me a lot of him. So very, very lucky to be now on his side. Being on his team will be a nice relief.
Torey, there's a lot of teams in this league that have a solid core. I mean, just you look at the core of Boston. Like you look at Chicago, with Taves and Kane. I mean, Boston to me was a core, right? With Bergeron and Marchand. You look at Chara. Is it going to be hard? Have you talked to any players from Boston leave? I mean, 9 years is a long time being in a city that is extremely sports driven. Have you talked to any of these guys, Bergeron, Marchand, as far as your departure and what these years have meant to you before you leave to become a St. Louis Blue?
I have. I've spoken to, most of the guys that you've already mentioned, and and then some. We had a very tight locker room in Boston. I think that's one of the reasons that we were so successful on the ice. And, they'll be some of my friends forever, but sometimes the business world, other opportunities present themselves. And what I was very excited about when I looked at the Blues was their core. Loved that their leadership group, their top six, their defense core, and then you have Bennington and Ned. I think it was a very comparable match, and to me, in my opinion, could be the one seamless transition in the NHL for me to join another room. So, you can tell that I'm very excited about it.
Torey, with these UFAs, the dollar, the term, so much is emphasized on that. But for you, I know a big part of this was you wanted to join a team that was within a window to win again. And how much did that play into the role into becoming a St. Louis Blue for you and your decision?
Well, it was very important for me. I mean, I've been to the finals twice now and struck out both times, unfortunately. But to have the opportunity to just get back, into the playoffs year in, year out. And we all know once you get in, you don't know what happens from there. So with this core, this group, it seemed like a no-brainer. We're going to have the opportunity to compete year in, year out. And that's my final goal. Those guys have done it once already. Hopefully this time I can do it with them and be a part of it.
Blue, white, I mean, those colors don't look like you. You're kind of a black and yellow kind of guy. I mean, have you decided on a number? You've had 47 for all this time. It's kind of a camp number, no offense. Like, it's kind of a dusty number. Are you going to stick with 47?
I actually chose that. It was like I got an opportunity to pick out of a random few numbers, and there were a couple of good defensemen that I kind of combined their numbers out in Boston, and that's what I landed on. And I'd like to stick with it. Haven't gotten that far really. Just right now, I'm still in awe of the opportunity, and I'm just excited to get going. But I would imagine that's something that's going to stick with me.
Torey, I don't think you're going to have a lot of players that are going to be fighting you for 47. Maybe 16 in St. Louis, maybe 5, but 47, I was 46. You should be good at 47. Well, I know Boston had the North End. I'm sure you're familiar with the North End. We spent so much time at Monica's in the North End during the finals last year. I'm sure you've been there quite a bit with Franco and the gang. Have you heard of the Hill? Do you know about the Hill here in St. Louis? Do you know about Toasted Rabs?
I don't know much. To be honest, I'd love to hear more about it, but the North End, that's where I live. That's been my neighborhood for, a better part of 8 years now. And, we were just coming into our own, a lot of friends and family, neighbors. We love them. And just walking around the North End, it's a pretty special place to be. So I love the shout out you gave to the guys at Monica's. They're close friends. Mm-hmm. And the list goes on and on. So it's, we've been very lucky here, but I'm very excited to get started in St. Louis.
Yeah, Monica's was the place that I realized that Bernie Federico, the Hall of Famer, loved limoncello and Pinot Grigio. Of all drinks in the world, I never thought that a Hall of Famer would appreciate that. You have a family, Melanie, your wife, Sailor, a young little girl, 15 months old. What is this like, not only as a player, but let's walk through the personal stuff. As a father, as a husband, I mean, this is a big day for you as a family man. What have they said about it? I see you were sipping some champagne a little bit earlier. Of course, Sailor, your 15-month-old, doesn't know much about this right now, but what is Melanie saying? Is she excited about St. Louis?
Very excited. I mean, it's been a very overwhelming process. She's done a great job of holding it together for both of us, and I was doing my best to act like I was being strong and hanging in there. But when we got the opportunity to come here, you just couldn't pass it up. So it's tough. I got to be honest, being a husband, a father of a little one, there's more things that are, more important than just you in the hockey world. And you got to take care of them, and the security and the future, what it looks like in a city to raise a family. All these things come into play. So we're very lucky, very happy that we landed on such a great spot.
Well, Torey, I will warn you, when players come through St. Louis, they have a way of staying here. I know you're a Michigan guy, went to Michigan State. Mackenzie McEachern, another Michigan State Spartan. Right. You probably have a connection there. But people who come through St. Louis, they absolutely love it, and they typically stay here. Jim Montgomery, a guy that scouted you throughout your career, back in St. Louis, an assistant coach. So you tell Melanie, I know you're a Michigan guy. You spent 9 years in Boston. St. Louis has a way about people. They love their people and they love the surroundings about it. So 7-year deal with the St. Louis Blues. This is crazy. I can't believe I'm speaking to you right now, especially after the hit you laid on Robert Thomas, our first rounder. But we are super excited to have you in the Blue Note, and you can't wait. You won't believe the embrace you're going to have from this fan base here. Torey Krug, 7-year deal with the St. Louis Blues. Can't wait to meet you, buddy. Congratulations. Big celebration for you and your family. Keep the champagne going. You deserved it, and we can't wait to meet you down the road.
Thanks, Joe. Cheers.
Thanks, Corey.